What if the place that has always healed broken hearts is now the one that needs healing the most? After nearly 2 decades of love, loss, and quiet strength, Heartland is standing at the edge of its biggest chapter yet. Season 20 isn't just another season, it's a turning point. For almost 20 years, Heartland has been more than just a TV show. It has been a feeling, a place where pain is met with patience, where broken horses mirror broken people, and where family always finds a way to hold together, even when everything feels like it's falling apart. Season after season, viewers have grown up with this story. Some found comfort in it, others found hope, and many found a sense of home in the wide fields of Heartland Ranch. From the very beginning, the heart of the show was never just about horses. It was about people learning how to heal, not by running from pain, but by facing it together. We watched characters grow from unsure teenagers into strong adults, shaped by love, mistakes, and loss. Every season added another layer to that journey, slowly building a legacy that few shows ever reach. Now, as Heartland approaches season 20, that legacy carries more weight than ever before. This milestone season is not just about continuing the story, it's about honoring everything that came before it. The memories, the lessons, the moments that stayed with us long after the screen faded to black. But with that history comes a powerful question. How do you move forward when the past is so deeply rooted in who you are? Season 20 opens in a world that feels familiar, yet quietly different. The ranch still stands. The land is still wide and open, but change is in the air. Life has a way of doing that, shifting slowly at first, then all at once. The family we know and love is facing a future that asks more from them than ever before. Not just strength, but courage. Not just love, but hard choices. This season marks a moment of reflection and renewal. It asks what Heartland truly means now, after all these years. Is it just a place? Or is it something deeper, something that lives inside the people who refuse to give up on it? As season 20 begins, one thing is clear: the story of Heartland is far from over. In fact, it may be entering its most meaningful chapter yet. The hardest part about growing up is realizing that healing doesn't always come quietly anymore. Sometimes it demands answers, sometimes it asks for sacrifice, and sometimes it forces people to face truths they've been avoiding for years. As season 20 of Heartland begins, the calm strength that once held everything together is being tested in ways we haven't seen before. By the end of the previous season, it became clear that the Heartland family was standing in a fragile place. Not broken but stretched. Emotional weight had settled into everyday life. The kind of weight that doesn't disappear with time, but slowly changes the way people think, love, and make decisions. Old wounds may have healed on the surface, but deep down, they left marks that still shape every step forward. At Heartland Ranch, life has always followed a certain rhythm. Morning chores, quiet talks, moments of peace between storms. But now, that rhythm feels uncertain, not rushed, not chaotic, just different. There's a sense that everyone is moving forward, but not always together. Each person is carrying their own worries, their own hopes, and their own fears about what comes next. Season 20 doesn't begin with loud drama or sudden shocks. Instead, it opens with emotional tension that feels real and close to home. The kind that builds in silence. The kind that shows up in the pauses between conversations, and the looks that say more than words ever could. This is where Heartland has always been at its strongest, showing how change doesn't always arrive like a storm. Sometimes it arrives like a quiet question that won't leave you alone. One of the biggest challenges this season brings is the idea of responsibility. As time moves forward, roles begin to shift. What once felt natural now feels heavy. The choices that used to be shared must now be faced alone. And with those choices comes doubt. Am I doing the right thing? Am I holding on too tightly or letting go too soon? The ranch itself feels this change. It's still a place of healing, but healing now comes with limits. Not every problem has a clear answer. Not every horse can be saved. Not every relationship can stay the same forever. Season 20 is honest about that truth. It shows that even in a place built on hope, reality has a way of stepping in. Family once again stands at the center of everything. But family doesn't always mean agreement. Love doesn't always mean understanding. This season explores what happens when people who care deeply about each other want different things from the future. When the same goal, protecting Heartland, leads to very different paths. There is also a strong feeling of reflection running through this season. Characters look back on the choices that brought them here. Some feel proud, others feel regret, and some wonder if they would do things differently if given the chance. Season 20 doesn't rush these moments. It lets them breathe. It allows viewers to sit with the emotions, just like real life does. What makes this season stand out is its honesty. It doesn't promise that everything will be okay just because it always has been before. Instead, it asks a deeper question. What does okay even mean now? Is it survival? Is it happiness? Or is it simply staying true to who you are, even when the future feels unclear? There's also a growing sense that Heartland is no longer just about fixing what's broken, it's about deciding what's worth holding on to. Traditions that once felt unshakable are being questioned, not out of disrespect, but out of necessity. Because sometimes, the only way to protect something you love is to let it change. Season 20 leans into these emotional crossroads. It shows that strength doesn't always look like standing firm. Sometimes it looks like listening, like admitting fear, like accepting that you don't have all the answers and that maybe you never will. As this new chapter unfolds, one thing becomes clear. The Heartland family is no longer fighting against the past. They are learning how to live with it. And that journey, slow, emotional, and deeply human, is what makes Season 20 feel so powerful. This isn't just a continuation of the story. It's a reflection of everything the show has become. A reminder that healing is not a finish line. It's a lifelong process. And at Heartland, that process is about to be tested in ways that will change everything. Every long journey reaches a moment where the road splits. Season 20 of Heartland stands right at that point. The people we have watched for years are no longer just reacting to life, they are choosing who they want to become. And those choices, quiet or bold, are shaping a future that feels both exciting and uncertain. This season places strong focus on personal growth. Not the kind that happens fast, but the kind that comes from living through hard days and learning from them. The characters are older now, wiser in some ways, more careful in others. They carry memories that guide them, but also memories that slow them down. Season 20 shows how experience can be both a gift and a burden. There is a strong feeling that everyone is standing at a personal crossroads. Some are questioning their purpose. Others are realizing that the dreams they once had may no longer fit who they are today. This isn't about giving up, it's about understanding that growth sometimes means choosing a new direction. Even when the old one feels safe, relationships also feel different this season. Conversations are deeper. Silence means more. Trust is no longer assumed. It is earned again and again. Season 20 explores how love changes over time, not fading, but becoming more complex. It shows that caring for someone doesn't always mean agreeing with them. Sometimes it means standing back and letting them make their own mistakes. Leadership becomes an important theme. Stepping up sounds simple, but it comes with pressure. Decisions now affect more than just one person. The weight of responsibility shows in small moments: hesitation before speaking, long looks across the ranch, and choices made late at night when no one else is around. Season 20 treats these moments with care, reminding us that strength often looks quiet. There is also a strong sense of independence running through this chapter. Characters are learning to rely on themselves in ways they never had to before. That independence brings confidence, but also loneliness. Season 20 doesn't hide that truth. It shows how standing on your own feet can feel empowering one day and overwhelming the next. The ranch remains a mirror for these inner struggles. Horses respond to emotion, to fear, to calm, and so do people. Healing still happens here, but it no longer feels simple. It requires patience, honesty, and the willingness to face uncomfortable truths. Season 20 respects that process. It doesn't rush it. It allows setbacks, doubts, and moments of failure to exist without shame. Another powerful element this season brings is the idea of legacy through people, not places. Heartland is more than land and buildings. It is values passed down, lessons learned, and love that survives even when things change. Season 20 asks whether that legacy can live on if it looks different than before, and the answer is not as clear as it once was. There is emotion in every small step forward, in every decision not made lightly. This season understands that life rarely offers clear signs. Instead, it gives moments that force people to listen to their instincts, even when fear is louder. Season 20 doesn't rely on big drama to feel meaningful. Its power comes from honesty. There comes a moment when holding on feels just as risky as letting go. Season 20 of Heartland lives in that moment. The future is no longer something far away, it is here, asking questions that cannot be ignored. And the answers, whatever they may be, will shape everything that comes next. This season carries a strong sense of uncertainty, not the kind that brings fear, but the kind that demands honesty. The characters are no longer protected by routine or tradition. The paths ahead are open, wide, and unclear. Every choice feels heavier because it matters more than ever before. Season 20 shows that moving forward sometimes means stepping into the unknown without guarantees. One of the most powerful ideas this season explores is courage in everyday life. Not big heroic moments, but quiet bravery, speaking the truth when it's easier to stay silent, trusting someone again after disappointment, choosing hope when doubt feels safer. These small acts define the emotional heart of Season 20. The idea of home is also being redefined. Heartland has always been a place where people return to heal, but now it asks a deeper question. What happens when home itself begins to change? Season 20 explores whether home is a place you protect at all costs, or something that grows with the people inside it. The answer isn't simple, and that's what makes it feel real. There is a noticeable shift toward long-term thinking. This season, decisions are no longer about fixing today's problems, but about shaping tomorrow's reality. This brings tension, because not everyone sees the future the same way. Season 20 doesn't paint this as conflict for the sake of drama, it shows it as a natural part of growth. Different hopes, different fears, different visions of what success looks like. Hope remains a quiet but steady presence. Even in moments of doubt, there is a sense that something meaningful is being built. Season 20 understands that hope doesn't erase hardship, it gives people the strength to face it. The show continues to remind us that healing is not about avoiding pain, but learning how to carry it without losing yourself. The land, the horses, and the people all reflect this shift. Nothing feels frozen in time. Everything is moving, breathing, changing. Season 20 captures that movement with patience and care. It respects the past while refusing to be trapped by it. As this chapter unfolds, one thing becomes clear. Heartland is not afraid to grow up. Season 20 embraces maturity, complexity, and emotional truth. It understands that lasting stories don't survive by staying the same, they survive by evolving. This season is not just a continuation. It's an invitation to believe that even after years of challenges, there are still new beginnings waiting to be discovered. That even when the future feels uncertain, it can still be full of meaning. Reaching 20 seasons is not just a number. It is a rare moment in television where a story proves it truly matters. Season 20 of Heartland does not feel like a repeat of the past. It feels like a reflection of time, growth, and everything this journey has meant to viewers who have stayed. From the very beginning, this season carries a special kind of weight because it understands what it represents. 20 seasons mean years of loyalty, patience, and emotional connection. The show knows that people didn't just watch Heartland, they lived alongside it. They grew older with it. Life changed, but Heartland remained. Season 20 honors that bond in a quiet, respectful way. There is a deeper emotional awareness this season. It doesn't try to be louder or faster. Instead, it becomes more meaningful. Every moment feels intentional. Every conversation feels like it matters. Season 20 trusts its audience enough to slow down and let emotions speak for themselves. This is also why fans are paying close attention to the future of the show. Questions about how long Heartland will continue naturally come to mind. And while nothing is ever promised, Season 20 feels like a chapter that carefully looks ahead while still standing firmly in the present. It keeps the door open without forcing an ending. When it comes to the release window, Expectations are built on the show's long-standing pattern. Heartland has always followed a steady rhythm, and season 20 is expected to stay true to that tradition. While official dates are still closely watched, the anticipation alone shows how strong the connection remains between the series and its audience. What truly sets season 20 apart is how confident it feels in its identity. It doesn't need to prove what Heartland is anymore. It already knows. The focus is not on surprises, but on honesty. Not on spectacle, but on heart. That confidence only comes from years of storytelling done with care. Season 20 reminds us why this story has lasted so long. Because it respects quiet moments. Because it believes healing is possible, even when it's slow. Because it understands that family is not perfect, but it's worth fighting for. As this season unfolds, viewers are not just watching a show continue. They are witnessing a legacy being carried forward. One shaped by change, guided by love, and strengthened by time. As season 20 moves forward, there is a quiet promise woven into every moment, a promise that Heartland still has more to say. Not in loud twists or sudden shocks, but in meaningful steps that feel earned. This season understands that after so many years, what matters most is not surprise, but truth. There is a growing sense that the story is opening itself to possibility. Not everything is clear, and not every path is decided. That uncertainty is not treated as weakness. Instead, it becomes space for growth. Season 20 allows its characters to sit in that space, to question, to hesitate, and to hope without rushing toward easy answers. The future of Heartland feels wide, like the land itself, full of opportunity, but also responsibility. Every choice made now carries weight beyond the present moment. Season 20 highlights how even small decisions can shape long-term outcomes. A single conversation, a moment of trust, a step taken despite fear. These are the moments that quietly define what comes next. There is also a renewed focus on connection, not just between family members, but between people and purpose. Season 20 asks what it truly means to belong somewhere. Is it about staying, or is it about caring enough to fight for change? The season doesn't force one answer. It allows different truths to exist at the same time. What makes this chapter especially powerful is its calm confidence. The story doesn't rush toward an ending, nor does it cling to the past. It walks forward with balance, respecting history, while giving the future room to breathe. That balance is rare, and it's what gives season 20 its emotional strength. Viewers may notice that hope feels quieter this season, but also stronger. It's no longer about fixing everything. It's about believing that even imperfect steps forward still matter. That healing doesn't need to be complete to be real. That love doesn't need certainty to be true. Season 20 stands as a reminder that long stories don't survive by accident. They survive because they evolve with care, because they listen, because they grow alongside the people who watch them. Heartland continues to do exactly that. After all these years, Heartland continues to do something rare. It reminds us that stories don't have to be loud to be powerful. They just have to be honest. Season 20 stands as proof that this journey still matters, not because of how long it has lasted, but because of how deeply it connects. This season feels like a quiet promise to the fans who never left. A promise that the heart of the story is still alive. That family, healing, and hope still guide every step forward. Even as things change, the soul of Heartland remains strong, rooted in love and resilience. There are no easy answers ahead. No perfect paths. And that's exactly what makes this chapter feel real. Season 20 doesn't tell us where the story will end. It invites us to walk alongside it, one moment at a time, to feel the emotions, to reflect on the journey, to remember why this place has always felt like home. As the future of Heartland unfolds, one thing is certain: this is not just another season. It's a milestone, a celebration of growth, endurance, and the quiet strength of storytelling done right. So now the question is yours. What do you hope to see in season 20? Which journeys are you most excited to follow? And what does Heartland mean to you after all these years?